This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica, transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne, serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube and Nationwide 90 FM Live too, RevoNews.ai, and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock. From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning. A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Friday, January 23, 2026. RADA says a recent Auditor General report does not point to misappropriation or loss of funds at the agency. DPP says an appeal of the Noel Maitland conviction is anticipated. Chief Justice links deficiency of the judiciary with economic growth. In regional news, Guyana puts health facilities on alert amid chikungunya cases in Suriname. In international news, Trump withdraws Canada's invite to Board of Peace. In sports, Mount Pleasant Academy returns to the top 6 of the Ren Nefi Jamaica Premier League. And in business, TikTok closes deal to split U.S. app from global business. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, says matters raised in a recent Auditor General's report relate primarily to documentation and post-distribution control strengthening. In a statement issued on Thursday, RADA says that the report does not point to evidence of misappropriation, diversion, or financial loss of agricultural inputs. George Davis reports.
The Auditor General's report was tabled last week in the House of Representatives. It focused on RADA's Production Incentive Program, PIP. According to the report, while PIP was created to strengthen agricultural productivity, food security, income generation, foreign exchange, and rural development, several deficiencies were found. It says while RADA developed a tool to select priority crops for resource allocation, 54% of the chosen crops lacked clear targets. RADA established standard operating procedures for the distribution of agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, but the Auditor General says the authority was unable to confirm that the fertilizer allocated to members of Parliament for subsequent distribution reached the intended farmers. It also found that RADA's ability to validate production activities reported by extension officers was significantly constrained by a shortage of manpower. On Thursday, RADA responded. It says no evidence of misappropriation, diversion, or financial loss loss of agricultural inputs was found by the Auditor General. RADA says the period under review coincided with an extraordinary national agricultural response marked by significant production surges and recovery efforts following climatic shocks. RADA says at the time the distribution of scientifically blended Moroccan fertilizer supported expanded acreage, improved yields and enhanced food security outcomes across several key agricultural zones. It notes that these inputs were applied directly to farm production and contributed meaningfully to national output and farmer livelihoods. The authority says it maintained operational responsibility for the storage, logistics and distribution of agricultural inputs. It further notes that MPs were engaged strictly in their representative capacity to facilitate farmer access in constituencies. RADA says it has consistently sought to strengthen post-distribution verification and documentation, including standard operating procedures for beneficiary confirmation data as part of its monitoring and evaluation responsibilities. Still, RADA says corrective action is being taken following the findings of the Auditor General. This, it says, is being done by enhancing the authority's inventory management and internal control systems. George Davis for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, RADA has also responded to a recommendation by the Auditor General to Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison that a surcharge be imposed on the authority's accounting officers. The surcharge reportedly amounts to over $64 million. RADA says the recommendation of the surcharge must be guided by the provisions of the Financial Administration and Audit FAA Act. It says such a measure requires clear evidence of loss, negligence, or personal benefit. RADA says at this stage, these thresholds have not been established. Now, Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, Claudette Thompson, says she expects Noel Maitland to appeal his conviction for murdering his girlfriend, social media influencer Donnelly Donaldson. DPP Thompson was a guest on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday.
We did the preparatory work for the trial. We'll do the same for the appeal when it comes. We expect it. We expect it because most murder convictions are appealed. The sentence for murder in Jamaica is life imprisonment. And so we expect that there will be an appeal and we will prepare for it.
DPP Thompson's words come as Maitland's attorney Christopher Townsend told journalists after Thursday's verdict that an appeal would be filed. The DPP says amid the speculation and narrative brought around the case through social media, she was always confident her team handled the case properly.
Not even for a second.
You were that sure of the evidence?
I'm not saying I was that sure of the evidence, but you're asking me about social media. And as I said to the ladies who appeared with me in the case today, we put up a good case. And so I was satisfied. I am conscious of the fact that we're dealing with jurors, 7 different brains, 7 different minds, and they could have come back with a different result. But I felt throughout it all that we had done enough with what we had.
Claudette Thompson, Director of Public Prosecutions. Meanwhile, DPP Thompson says it was a poor excuse from Maitland to assert that traces of Donnelly's blood found at his apartment was due to rough sex.
It was argued that blood cannot be aged or dated, and because she was a quote-unquote regular visitor to that apartment, then she could have bled on any occasion.
Yes.
And for those who heard the evidence and heard my friend's closing address, an alternative explanation for the presence of her blood was given. Not one I'll repeat.
But did you find that explanation, though, incredible? Mr. Maitland suggested that there may have been at least 2 miscarriages and that sexual intercourse on a balcony may have been the cause of the blood deposits in the apartment. As the prosecutor sitting there, did you find that incredible?
Terribly. And I said as much when I addressed the jurors.
Claudette Thompson, Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Thompson, was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday following the verdict. Defense attorney Christopher Townsend says he maintains that the prosecution failed to meet the required burden of proof despite his client, Noel Maitland, being convicted of murder.
There's nothing to show that she was murdered or murdered anywhere.
But clearly the jurors don't accept that, Mr.
No, they don't. Why they don't accept it is something else. That's another issue. And that's an issue that Mr. Maitland may want to take to the Court of Appeal.
And what is that issue?
As to whether or not the facts or the evidence supports the finding of the jury. That is something that his appeal lawyers will have to deal with. But certainly, from our perspective, it seems to be a giant leap to make that finding, even the evidence.
You said his appeal lawyers, which means you will be taking on the appeal?
No, I would recommend that a fresh pair of eyes look at it.
Christopher Townsend, attorney at law. Maitland was convicted in the Supreme Court on Thursday of the murder of his girlfriend, social media influencer Donnelly Donaldson. He was also found guilty of preventing the lawful burial of her body. Maitland is scheduled to be sentenced on March 13. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says an efficient and effective judiciary plays a critical role in building investor confidence and supporting economic growth. He made the statement while addressing the 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus earlier on Thursday. Justice Sykes says while traditional measures such as clearance rates and case disposal times are important, this is not where justice ends. He notes that judicial efficiency serves a broader purpose, including safeguarding property rights, enforcing contracts, ensuring public safety, and creating an environment in which economic activity can flourish. Justice Sykes says the manner in which justice is delivered has direct implications for investor confidence and economic well-being. He says international research and comparative studies show that countries with efficient, independent judiciaries experience higher economic growth, stronger financial systems, and increased investment. Speaking to Jamaica, the country's chief jurist says the judiciary is deliberately shifting towards outcome-focused performance management with increased emphasis on clearance rates, trial date certainty, backlog reduction, and user experience. Justice Sykes says if investor confidence is to be built, judicial efficiency cannot be treated as a peripheral issue. He says it must be recognized as a central pillar of the country's growth strategy. The Financial Investigations Division, FID, has handed over 8 motor vehicles to the JCF's Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC. The vehicles were forfeited to the Crown following the successful prosecution of several financial crimes by the FID. Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations at the FID, Keith Darian, says the country benefits when there is collaboration between the public and FID.
This handover is a clear example of how our collaboration with the JCF is multi-layered to include investigations, prosecutions, and recovery that can translate into real operational support for our CTOC. When the public supports the FID and our partner law enforcement agencies in combating crime, the country benefits. Even at a modest scale, asset recovery can reduce pressure on government resources by returning the proceeds of crime to strengthen the crime-fighting machinery. This is what it looks like to remove the benefits from crime.
Keith Darian, Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations at the FID. In a release on Thursday, FID noted that 6 of the 8 vehicles were forfeited from fraud matters. The final one, valued at over $7 million, was forfeited from a corruption case. The FID says the handover formed part of its ongoing efforts to identify and recover assets derived from criminal conduct. Meanwhile, Director of the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, Senior Superintendent Patria Rowe, says that the vehicles will support the work of CTOC and FNID.
These vehicles received from FID today most certainly will strengthen our operational mobility and will certainly add value to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, and it will allow for quicker and more responsive action without diverting already burdened police resource that could be used otherwise. This handover demonstrates what coordinated law enforcement can achieve. Assets linked to criminality are recovered through due process and redirected into public safety. It is a tangible example of partnership in action, and it reinforces the broader point that when the public supports the work of FNID and FID, the combined effort redound to the benefits of the country and the Jamaican people.
SSP Petrero, head of FNID. Senior Director in the Internal Audit Directorate at the Finance Ministry, Suzette Campbell, says the absence of timely management response is a key factor affecting the timeliness of audit reporting. She was speaking with Nationwide News at the government's Audit Committee conference on Wednesday. The event targets audit committees at the central government level, including ministries, departments, and executive agencies. Campbell says currently there is a consolidated report sent to Parliament annually that reflects activities of the audit committees. She noted this report is also available to the public. Campbell says whenever audits are performed, a draft report is sent and management has 4 weeks to respond. But she notes that sometimes responses are not sent in a timely manner. Campbell says a lack of timely implementation of internal audit recommendations is another factor that can affect the effectiveness of audits. She says if these recommendations are not promptly implemented, the issues and risks are left unaddressed. Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Catherine, Damon Crawford, is questioning why lands deemed unfit for mining continue to be held by bauxite companies while communities face shortages of land for burial and other needs. He posed the questions to Mining Minister Floyd Green in Parliament on Tuesday.
I also wonder if the minister is aware that lands that might not have been mined out for bauxite have been under the ownership of these bauxite companies, and many have been deemed unworthy of mining, yet still under the ownership of these companies. Is the minister therefore further aware that this monopolization of ownership has robbed the people of agricultural and other income-earning activities, housing opportunities, and indeed even burial sites in these communities that have to go far and wide to bury their relatives?
Burial space has long been an issue in Jamaica. Several of the country's public cemeteries are already at full capacity. MP Crawford asked whether all the property owned by the bauxite companies are being put to productive use.
There's ownership of extreme numbers of acres, but is it possible to know the output from these entities? Because while it is, we may say, 7 acres under production, is it possible for us to know the output from these areas? Because it sounds as if many are just holding lands and not necessarily producing on these properties that they claim that they own.
Damon Crawford, MP for Northwest St. Catherine. Meanwhile, MP Crawford says reports indicate that roof loss from Hurricane Melissa was more evident in bauxite mining communities.
Is the minister aware that there has been anecdotal evidence that there has been greater roof damage in bauxite areas relative to the wind than in most other areas that had even greater wind forces from the hurricane? That multiple roof loss have been attributed to weakened roofs due to the bauxite dust, acid rain, and the rusting that has been caused in these bauxite areas. Is the minister aware that there has been many damage to houses due to blasting from bauxite mining and also from the facilitation of bauxite mining? And further aware that the damage to these areas have been refused compensation, with the bauxite entities unwilling even to visit when informed by many of these communities, like Wandibolas.
Damon Crawford, MP for Northwest St. Catherine. In response, Minister Green suggested that MP Crawford make a formal request for information, as some of the answers require investigation. The minister says he will be meeting with the Jamaica Bauxite Institute, as well as MPs who represent bauxite communities.
I was unaware of any difficulty in having meetings with JBI, right?
and that we will fix. So already prior to this, I had said in the last time we had a conversation around bauxite that I have planned to convene a meeting with all the members of parliament from bauxite areas, and I've directed the JBI to do so. So when we have that meeting, which I expect to have within the next 2 weeks, because I also want to speak about the bauxite community development program that we're going into, that some of these issues will be raised and will be dealt with.
Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture and Mining. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:18.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, Guyana's Ministry of Health has issued an alert urging heightened vigilance for patients presenting with severe body pains and fever amid confirmed cases of chikungunya in neighboring Suriname. Suriname has reported 8 confirmed cases of the mosquito-borne illness. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony says while Guyana has not recorded any local cases, the alert is a precautionary measure. He noted that one imported case was recorded in October last year. Dr. Anthony says Guyana routinely tests patients with flu-like symptoms for dengue. If those tests are negative, further screening is conducted for other viral infections such as chikungunya. Meanwhile, the health minister says the ministry has strengthened mosquito control efforts in response to the risk. International, U.S. President Donald Trump has withdrawn an invite for Canada to join his newly constituted Board of Peace. Trump made the announcement in a Truth Social post addressed to Prime Minister Mark Carney. The post on Thursday evening did not give a reason for the decision. Ottawa previously indicated that it would not pay the $1 billion Trump demands from permanent members. Canada said it would, however, join on principle. Trump's Board of Peace was originally thought to be aimed at helping end the 2-year war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza and oversee reconstruction. It's now being billed by the U.S. as a new international organization for resolving conflicts. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile. Gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile. Gift a smile. Gift a smile.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Time now for your morning sports. Some football news. Former champions Mount Pleasant Academy are back in the top 6 of the Red Nephew Jamaica Premier League after beating Arnott Gardens 1-0 in the late game on Thursday at the Tony Spalding Complex. Raheem Edwards made the difference with a strike in the 23rd minute. The Caribbean champions are now on 24 points and 6th in the standings. The Football Supporters Association says FIFA President Gianni Infantino should focus on making tickets cheaper for the 2026 World Cup instead of cheap jokes about British fans. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland on Thursday, Infantino said it was really special that no British nationals were arrested during the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The Swiss addressed various concerns about this year's tournament in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, including domestic tensions in the U.S., possible visa issues for fans wishing to visit the country, and ticket prices. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, announced on Thursday that the next 2 stagings of the African Cup of Nations will be held in 2027 and 2028. Thereafter, the tournament will be hosted every 4 years. According to the president of CAF, Patrice Motsepe, it's unfair to say Africa needs FIFA to govern their football.
We've got to move away from this inferiority complex, where, FIFA controls Africa. What do you mean? You mean the Africans haven't got the capacity to say, in fact, the World CAF AFCON every year is because of Europe. Absolute nonsense. Rubbish. What saddens me is the Europeans have got more respect for us than some of our own journalists do.
The recently concluded tournament hosted by Morocco was marred by controversy. The tournament was won by Senegal, who defeated the hosts 1-0. According to Motsepe, a review is underway.
Our competitions are going to be reviewed, and I can tell you now, there will not be a CHAN. There will be no need for a CHAN, because you've got to have quality competitions. You shouldn't have too few, you shouldn't have too many, but it's going to be world class. And that's why I was saying for the last 2 to 3 years, we've looked at this and we've also looked at the FIFA calendar. But the FIFA calendar is something that nobody, not even Europe, the perception that Europe dictates the FIFA calendar, it's a lot of nonsense.
Patrice Motsepe, president of the Confederation of African Football. Wrapping up your morning sports.
Hurricane Melissa may be over, but the emotional impact can linger. It's normal to feel anxious, sad, or overwhelmed. Talk about your feelings. Stay connected with family and friends and reach out for help if you need it. Call the Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. You can also access the You Matter chat line by messaging the word support to 876-838-4897 or at You Report Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
In business this morning, TikTok has closed a deal that will allow the hugely popular short video app to continue operating in the U.S. The company made the announcement on Thursday. The deal comes after a years-long tussle between Washington and Beijing that began in Donald Trump's first term in the White House, when he tried unsuccessfully to ban the app over what he said were national security concerns. The platform was due to be banned in the U.S. in January 2025 if its Chinese owner ByteDance failed to sell its U.S. operations to American investors. But the U.S. president repeatedly postponed the enforcement of legislation to take down the app. The main source of contention was the app's powerful algorithm, which directs recommended content to users. The formula has now been licensed to the app's American owners and will be trained only on U.S. data. Experts say this will certainly cause changes, but it remains unclear how exactly it will affect the 200 million Americans on the app. President Donald Trump has filed a $5 billion lawsuit against America's biggest bank, J.P. Morgan Chase. The U.S. president is accusing the bank of illegally closing his accounts for political reasons. The lawsuit, which also names the bank's chief executive, Jamie Dimon, alleges that Trump and his businesses suffered considerable financial and reputational harm after the bank abruptly closed their accounts in 2021. The bank moved to close the accounts after the January 6, 2021 riot, when Trump supporters descended on the U.S. Capitol to disrupt formal ratification of the election results. A J.P. Morgan Chase spokesperson has sought to downplay the suit. The spokesperson said JPMC does not close accounts for political or religious reasons. The bank added in a statement that it closes accounts because they create legal or regulatory risk for the company. The lawsuit, which Trump said was coming over the weekend, is the latest clash between Trump and Dimon, who has led J.P. Morgan for 2 decades. In recent weeks, Dimon has also spoken out against the administration's proposal to cap credit cards and criticized its immigration policy and posture toward the Federal Reserve. The complaint was filed in Florida and bars banks from discriminating against clients for their political views. In foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $158. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican will open selling for an average $114.69. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will begin trading for an average $215.10 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
The National Land Agency helps landowners register land through its systematic land registration program. The time by the NLA is
6:30.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210, or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
I lift up my hands unto the hills, from whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Jah, who has made Zion and the earth. Oh gosh, give thy strength, mighty Jah, give thy strength to carry on. Give thy strength, mighty Jah, give thy strength, and no harder lots of things to take care of. You know the going is rough, oh Lord, and the food's not enough. Lord, my kid gotta feel a little girl. That's why I say, give my strength, mighty Jah, give my strength to carry on. Give my strength, mighty Jah, give my strength to carry on. Yes, I wonder, often wonder, what's the difference between the wise and the fool? When the wise live and dies, likewise the fool. What can I tell you? Don't you know this is true? A man is just a man. 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 A man is just a man.
I love to see my people living in love. I hate to see them fighting and swimming in blood. Enough neglect the farming, scarring in the mud. Yet they wanna be the first to reap the food as it bud. Oh, them fill the earth with peace and church and whorehouse. Love the rum bar, yet them eat the pure house. Them take the microchip and override the poor out. Less food, more shout and more mouth. Oh, Rasta tell them all the while. Stop war and go till the side. Stop fighting for land and all. Feed the coil, so many go defile. Slave master spit in them face, them take that with a smile. The bombs of the Nile, so mile and so fertile. Acres more than a zillion mile. People acting vile, pick up cannibal style. One devour mama, papa and child. Oh, soul I see, don't let it bust her. Them said them think they take too long to grow and start to cuss her. I couldn't trust them and those as how I trust her. Such is life, them say I just hurt. I see Kasha Heights, what them call the squatter land. Some say fi government, some say fi Matalan. Still no one share, although them got a lot of land. Them want fi turn a gun range and shatter land. Rasta tell them all the while, stop war and go till the side. Stop fighting for land and all. Feed the coil, so many go defile. Slave master spit in them face, them take that with a smile. The bombs of the Nile, so mile and so fertile. Acres more than a zillion mile. The people acting vile, pick up cannibal style. One devour mama for warriors, no fear no death, nor any form of terror. Pagan this mistake no man. The sorry the made an error. War must study yes. Set them deal with it bloody yes. Gun dog and gun drunk to the century. Them say senseless killing and them obvious. Find out say a war they must study yes. Set them deal with it bloody yes. Battlefield could have slippery your money yes. Deal with them rush because them lovingness. They up on the lava ground. No for them a look to see I'm Magada. Fight for warrior to them have a gun. Tell them say the warriors and naga run. Curve up on the lava ground. No for look to see I'm Magada. Fight for warrior to them have a gun. The warriors and naga run. I show the fire and not your own attitude. I know you are.
Trust the man about pagans, so I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the daddy just say. For Emperor Selassie I trust and obey. Rasta words are real substance. I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked heart say. Neither will counts to know they. All the eyes be no God, so mythology and illusion all be always burning. Corruption and confusion will be shown in the ash bin. Can't fool the Rasta man with your false doctrine, your false teaching. Oh, what a sin thing. Justice in disguise, it's salvation that is seeking. From the throne of David, yeah, it's obvious that you're drifting. You have no respect for the King of all kings, so his name I'll be always exalting. So I'll never go where the pagans go, never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the Dalitans say, for Emperor Selassie I trust in the way. That's the word of, yes, that's the one and machine that come in eyes. Give me home. It's a 9. Say to me some 45 and 16 on Magnum. Now live to right. German Luger to hype. You can't make enough you lose them life. It's a 9. Say to me some 45 and 16 on Magnum. Now flex to right. German Luger to hype. And you can't make enough you lose them life. They are 15 control a whole house in steam. The one mocking every road where land up a pin. 38 that carry 5-2 black lip on a rise. 380 stick up and a make a bag of nice. Well, success is the one to be foolish. And I shall tell them and find that continuous life. For they never cease to oppress the poor.
Oh, please, my cause, soldier, and let me stand firm when the wicked rise against the eye. Order my steps, soldier. The way is dark and I'm alone, but still I fear no foe, no. Cause now is not the time to speak or turn the
Good morning, listeners. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Whether you're, well, that's Saeed's line. Yeah, those are Saeed's lines, so I leave them be. But wherever you are listening to us this morning, watching us, we appreciate your time and appreciate you spending your Friday morning with us. Truly appreciated. And we continue to encourage you to spread the word about Nationwide 90 FM as we do the work that pleases you day by day. We'll play with the King has sent me a message, and King has said, brethren, no heavy lifting this morning, brethren. You know what I mean? Even though I use my time and prepare myself, you know. Hold on, King, hold on by your finger a little bit. Yesterday morning, we promised a 12-year-old girl that we'd play a song for her. We promised a 12-year-old girl on air that we would play a song for her. She asked, I think it was around about the birthday time, you know, how she never hear. She never hear the good music that she wants to hear. So I want to test your skill this morning, Mr. King, and ask you to play a song appropriate for a 12-year-old girl who's a fan, a listener of Nationwide 90 FM. I have a couple suggestions, but you can find your way. You're the ace selector. Yes? Round there, boss your brain now, eh? But, alright, you might go find it.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall. And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I know the things He gives He can take away. And I hold you every night, and that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose.
Thomas got a telegram that she wasn't working this morning.
Oh, I hope I don't
so she vanished from the studio, only to be told that no, you're up. So she'll be back in good time. But here what? We're gonna play. We're warming it up. After we play this, we're gonna play. Someone made a brilliant suggestion in the chat that we play Butterfly Kisses for our 12-year-old, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But enjoy this first.
And the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being? It's taking a toll on me, trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see?
There's two things I know for sure. She was sent here from heaven, and she's daddy's little girl. As I drop to my knees by her bed at night, she talks to Jesus, and I close my eyes, and I thank God for all of the joy in my life. Oh, but most of all, for butterfly kisses after bedtime prayer, sticking little white flowers all up in her hair. Walk beside the pony, Daddy, it's my first ride. I know the cake looks funny, Daddy, but I sure tried. Oh, with all that I've done wrong, I must have done something right to deserve a hug every morning and butterfly kisses at
This song for
night.
Adriana, 12 years old. It was requested for you, and we had to oblige this morning. Adriana, hope you're enjoying this one. I hear that she's singing it. Okay.
Sweet 16 today. She's looking like her mama a little more every day. One part woman, the other part girl. To perfume and makeup, from ribbons and curls, trying her wings out in a great big world. But I remember butterfly kisses after bedtime prayer.
passenger vehicles. The Transport Authority's motor vehicle inspection begins January 12. Get your vehicles inspected at any of the authorized facilities in preparation for the upcoming licensing period. The time by the Transport Authority is
6:48.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 18 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
You know, it's a joke thing every time you don't use a T-tag. I mean, with a T-tag, your 10th trip every week is free. And for every trip after that for the same week, it's 10% off. So yeah, wait, Pam. Get your T-tag today and drive like the winner you are every time.
Save money and save time. If you don't have a tag, you will waste time. Yeah, your seatbelt buckle and you're driving safe. Use up your T-tag, drive and save.
Drive like the winner you deserve to be with the T-tag every time.
I'm back in my chair.
You're back in time for Street Smarts One with Ludlow McLean. Morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, Tona. Good morning, George. I was wondering, you see, you're back in your chair. I was wondering.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Well, George, we can pull up some music there, man.
King, man. King.
The maestro himself, anyway. This morning is not too bad depending on where you are. There are some roads that is moving freely for the time being, but also, as I said, for the time being, Olo Road going further from Stanton Terrace down to Lady Musgrave Road, free flowing into Crossroad, Tom Redcom, pretty good movement. And if you're coming off the Winter, so the top of Mountain View, well, the middle of Mountain View, so to speak, going on Upper Wind, then on to Tom Redcom, and going further down to Camp Road, Marasca Road. It is pretty good movement, but don't forget, these roads changes as the minutes go by. Camp Road is okay. If you're coming out of Miriam Road, you don't have a problem. Deanery Road going all the way around to connect with Mountain View Avenue, and Deanery going to Upper Elliston Road. Lower Elliston Road is pretty good movements too, and the Windward Road area, it's busy, but it's moving. No problems in that particular area. And if you're on the Euro Circle area, it's good on the eastbound side, but remember there's a boys' school there, so when you come up off Torrington Avenue and then to get around to North Euro Circle, you're going to find the traffic building in that particular area. Places like Orange Street is good for the time being, Slipe End Road. But always remember, at this time, you have from the especially along Spanish Town Road and going further the Mandela, you can expect build-ups in these areas. But so far, these are the areas covered, and so far, it's not too bad. But it changes as the minutes go by. So we just want to remind motorists, the speeding, just be careful. A number of potholes have emerged, and you could lose your tire if you drop into one of them. So be careful as you traverse. It's over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 1. Up next, Word of the Day.
Your word of the day, 5 letters, spelled L-U-D-I-C, spelled L-U-D-I-C.
Ludic.
Ludic is your word of the day, an adjective, ludic, meaning playful in an aimless way. Playful in an aimless way. An explanation provided by dictionary.com for ludic. Ludic describes something playfully spontaneous, imaginative, free form, and done just for the joy of it. It's the perfect word for when you're off script, letting curiosity take the lead. A little ludic energy can loosen up even the most rigid day. Ludic, playful in an aimless way. And the sentence provided by dictionary.com this morning for the word ludic: he couldn't help but smile at the cat's ludic antics as they batted at a string. Ludic, your word of the day, spelled L-U-D-I-C. An adjective, a descriptive word, meaning playful in an aimless way.
Perfect sentence.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen cats playing with string?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's a perfect sentence to explain what the word means.
Yeah, playful in an aimless way.
Yeah.
Ludic, your word of the day. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Is your child a completely different person at home than they are in other social settings? Your child may have selective mutism. Selective mutism is often misunderstood and can be misdiagnosed, but early detection and treatment are crucial for better outcomes down the road. In Parenting Tips today, signs that your child may have selective mutism. Selective mutism was always believed to be rare. However, more children may meet the criteria of a diagnosis than previously thought, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Child psychologist Dr. Kristen Eastman says in the past, children who were thought to be just shy or defiant for not talking may actually meet the criteria for selective mutism. She says shy kids may not volunteer to read aloud to the class, but when they need to do things, they can. The child psychologist says the main difference is that shy children can still navigate everyday tasks, whereas children with selective mutism cannot. What does it look like? A child with selective mutism may not communicate in select social settings, often school, but they can comfortably talk in at least one other place, typically home. Both girls and boys can be affected, though the condition tends to impact girls more than boys. The average age of onset is under age 5, but it's often more evident when a child enters a structured social setting such as preschool or daycare. For example, children with selective mutism are overcome with anxiety at the prospect of giving a book report, saying hello to a classmate, or talking with their coach at soccer practice. So they are rendered frozen and unable to initiate or respond. Because of this, their experience at school and in other social settings may be hindered. Also, teachers may be unable to assess them and they may struggle socially. Selective mutism can look different depending on the child. Some children can only talk to their immediate family and no one else outside of the home, even extended family. Others may talk to relatives they see more regularly and not to those they don't know as well. Some may talk to other children, but not to adults outside of their home. And others may talk to their teacher when it's one-on-one, but freeze up in the larger group setting when others are within earshot. Be on the lookout for these signs of selective mutism. A frozen or unresponsive manner. Rigid, stiff as a board, body posture. Expressionless, flat or deer in headlights face. Slow to respond in a social situation. Clinginess with parents when entering into social settings. It's important for parents to trust their instincts. If you feel like your child is acting very differently in select social settings outside of your home or with select people, it is important to talk with your doctor. Dr. Eastman says the earlier you can make a diagnosis and start intervening, the better the prognosis long term. That's it for Parenting Tips today.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
There are two ways to eat with a knife and a fork: the American way and the British or European way. This is Lifestyle Pages on how to eat with a knife and a fork. Is the American way correct? Some people think that the American crisscross method of cutting and eating is correct. Some people believe that the English or European or continental way, with the fork in the left hand and the knife in the right hand, is correct. In comparing the two methods, it comes down to a matter of choice. In the American way, after cutting up all or some of the food, The knife is placed to the right side on the plate, and the fork is then switched to the right hand. Then you lift the cut food, meat or rice, etc., to the mouth. The fork is placed back with the food until the knife is needed again to cut more food, and then it is returned to the side on the plate. The fork is transferred to the right hand to begin eating again. Some people find the British or European method of using the knife already in the right hand to place cut food onto the fork with the teeth prongs or tines turned down, and then the food is placed in the mouth. Others prefer to turn the teeth or tines of the fork turned up like a shovel to place the food into the mouth. No method is right or wrong. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
One nation, one purpose, to rebuild stronger than before. Build it to last with tools and equipment from National Supply. The temperature by National Supply is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 18 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Friday, January 23, 2026, RADA says recent Auditor General report does not point to misappropriation or loss of funds at the agency. DPP says she expects the Noel Maitland to appeal his murder conviction. Chief Justice links efficient judiciary with economic growth. In international news, Trump withdraws invitation extended to Canada to join Board of Peace.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, says matters raised in a recent Auditor General report relate primarily to documentation and post-distribution control strengthening. In a statement on Thursday, RADA says the report does not point to evidence of misappropriation, diversion, or financial loss of agricultural inputs. The Auditor General's report was tabled last week in the House of Representatives. It focused on RADA's Production Incentive Program, PIP. According to the report, while PIP was created to strengthen agricultural productivity, food security, income generation, foreign exchange, and rural development, several deficiencies were found. It says while RADA developed a tool to select priority crops for resource allocation, 54% of the chosen crops lacked clear targets. RADA established standard operating procedures for the distribution of agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, but the Auditor General says the authority was unable to confirm that the fertilizer allocated to members of Parliament for subsequent distribution reached the intended farmers. It also found that RADA's ability to validate production activities reported by extension officers was significantly constrained by a shortage of manpower. On Thursday, RADA responded. It says no evidence of misappropriation, diversion, or financial loss of agricultural inputs was found by the Auditor General. RADA says the period under review coincided with an extraordinary national agricultural response marked by significant production surges and recovery efforts following climatic shocks. RADA says at the time the distribution of scientifically blended Moroccan fertilizer supported expanded acreage, improved yields, and enhanced food security outcomes across several key agricultural zones. It notes that these inputs were applied directly to farm production and contributed meaningfully to national output and farmer livelihoods. The authority says it maintained operational responsibility for the storage, logistics, and distribution of agricultural inputs. It further notes that MPs were engaged strictly in their representative capacity to facilitate farmer access in constituencies. RADA says it has consistently sought to strengthen post-distribution verification and documentation, including standard operating procedures for beneficiary confirmation data as part of its monitoring and evaluation responsibilities. Still, RADA says corrective action is being taken following the findings of the Auditor General. This, it says, is being done by enhancing the authority's inventory management and internal control systems. George Davis for Nationwide News. Meanwhile, RADA has also responded to a recommendation by the Auditor General to Financial Secretary Darlene Morrison that a surcharge be imposed on the authority's accounting officers. The surcharge reportedly amounts to over $64 million. RADA says the recommendation of the surcharge must be guided by the provisions of the Financial Administration and Audit FAA Act. It says such a measure requires clear evidence of loss, negligence, or personal benefit. RADA says at this stage these thresholds have not been established. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Claudette Thompson says the murder conviction of Noel Maitland was secured on the strength of her office's work. DPP Thompson was a guest on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday.
Not even for a second.
You were that sure of the evidence?
I'm not saying I was not sure of the evidence, but you're asking me about social media. And as I said to the ladies who appeared with me in the case today, we put up a good case. And so I was satisfied. I am conscious of the fact that we're dealing with jurors, 7 different brains, 7 different minds, and they could have come back with a different result. But I felt throughout it all that we had done enough with what we had.
Maitland was on Thursday convicted of murdering his girlfriend, social media influencer Donnelly Donaldson. He is set to be sentenced on March 13. Maitland's attorney, Christopher Townsend, told the journalists that an appeal would be filed. The DPP says her team is prepared.
We did the preparatory work for the trial. We'll do the same for the appeal when it comes. We expect it. We expect it because most murder convictions are appealed. The sentence for murder in Jamaica is life imprisonment. And so we expect that there will be an appeal and we will prepare for it.
Meanwhile, DPP Thompson says it was a poor excuse for Maitland to assert that traces of Donnelly's blood found at his apartment were due to rough sex.
It was argued that blood cannot be aged or dated, and because she was a quote-unquote regular visitor to that apartment, then she could have bled on any occasion.
Yes.
And for those who heard the evidence and heard my friend's closing address, an alternative explanation for the presence of her blood was given. Not one I'll repeat.
But did you find that explanation, though, incredible? Mr. Maitland suggested that there may have been at least 2 miscarriages and that sexual intercourse on a balcony may have been the cause of the blood deposits in the apartment. As the prosecutor sitting there, did you find that incredible?
Terribly. And I said as much when I addressed the jurors.
Claudette Thompson, DPP. She was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday. Meanwhile, defense attorney Christopher Townsend maintains that the prosecution failed to meet the required burden of proof in the case against his client.
There's nothing to show that she was murdered or murdered anywhere.
But clearly the jurors don't accept that, Mr.
No, they don't. Why they don't accept it is something else. That's another issue. And that's an issue that Mr. Maitland may want to take to the Court of Appeal.
And what is that issue?
As to whether or not the facts or the evidence supports the finding of the jury. That is something that his appeal lawyers will have to deal with. But certainly, from our perspective, it seems to be a giant leap to make that finding, even the evidence.
You said his appeal lawyers, which means you will be taking on the appeal?
No, I would recommend that a fresh pair of eyes look at it.
Christopher Townsend, attorney at law. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says an efficient and effective judiciary plays a critical role in building investor confidence and supporting economic growth. He made the statement while addressing the 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference at the Jamaica Pegasus earlier on Thursday. Justice Sykes says while traditional measures such as clearance rates and case disposal times are important, this is not where justice ends. He notes that judicial efficiency serves a broader purpose, including safeguarding property rights, enforcing contracts, ensuring public safety, and creating an environment in which economic activity can flourish. Justice Sykes says the manner in which justice is delivered has direct implications for investor confidence and economic well-being. He says international research and comparative studies show that countries with efficient, independent judiciaries experience higher economic growth, have stronger financial systems, and see increased investment. Speaking to Jamaica, the country's chief jurist says the judiciary is deliberately shifting towards outcome-focused performance management with increased emphasis on clearance rates, trial date certainty, backlog reduction, and user experience. Justice Sykes says if investor confidence is to be built, judicial efficiency cannot be treated as a peripheral issue. He says it must be recognized as a central pillar of the country's growth strategy. The Financial Investigations Division, FID, has handed over 8 motor vehicles to the JCF's Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC. The vehicles were forfeited to the Crown following the successful prosecution of several financial crimes. Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations at the FID, Keith Darian, says the country benefits when there's collaboration between the public and the FID.
This handover is a clear example of how our collaboration with the JCF is multi-layered to include investigations, prosecutions, and recovery that can translate into real operational support for our CTOC. When the public supports the FID and our partner law enforcement agencies in combating crime, the country benefits. Even at a modest scale, asset recovery can reduce pressure on government resources by returning the proceeds of crime to strengthen the crime-fighting machinery. This is what it looks like to remove the benefits from crime.
Keith Darian, Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations at the FID. In a statement on Thursday, the FID noted that 6 of the 8 vehicles were forfeited from fraud matters. The final one, valued at over $7 million, was forfeited from a corruption case. The FID says the handover forms part of ongoing efforts to identify and recover assets derived from criminal conduct. Meanwhile, Director of the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, Senior Superintendent Patrice Rowe, says the vehicles will support the work of CTOC and FNID.
These vehicles received from FID today most certainly will strengthen our operational mobility and will certainly add value to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, and it will allow for quicker and more responsive action without diverting already burdened police resource that could be used otherwise. This handover demonstrates what coordinated law enforcement can achieve. Assets linked to criminality are recovered through due process and redirected into public safety. It is a tangible example of partnership in action, and it reinforces the broader point that when the public supports the work of FNID and FID, they combine effort redound to the benefits of the country and the Jamaican people.
SSP Patrice Rowe, head of FNID. Senior Director in the Internal Audit Directorate at the Finance Ministry, Suzette Campbell, says the absence of timely management response is a key factor affecting the timeliness of audit reporting. She was speaking with Nationwide News at the government's Audit Committee conference on Wednesday. The event targets audit committees at the central government level, including ministries, departments, and executive agencies. Campbell says currently there's a consolidated report sent to Parliament annually that reflects activities of the audit committees. She notes that this report is also available to the public. Campbell says whenever audits are performed, a draft report is sent and management has 4 weeks to respond. But she notes that sometimes responses are not sent in a timely manner. Campbell says a lack of timely implementation of internal audit recommendations is another factor that can affect the effectiveness of audits. She says if these recommendations are not promptly implemented, the issues and risks are left unaddressed. Member of Parliament for North West St. Catherine, Damian Crawford, is questioning why lands deemed unfit for mining continue to be held by bauxite companies while communities face shortages of land for burial and other needs. He posed the questions on Tuesday in Parliament to the Mining Minister, Floyd Green.
I also wonder if the minister is aware that lands that might not have been mined out for bauxite have been under the ownership of these bauxite companies, and many have been deemed unworthy of mining, yet still under the ownership of these companies. Is the minister therefore further aware that this monopolization of ownership has robbed the people of agricultural and other income-earning activities, housing opportunities, and indeed, even burial sites in these communities that have to go far and wide to bury their relatives.
Burial space has long been an issue in Jamaica. Several of the country's public cemeteries have long been at full capacity. MP Crawford asked whether all the property owned by the bauxite companies are being put to productive use.
There's ownership of extreme numbers of acres, but is it possible to know the output from these entities? Because while it is, we may say, 7 acres under production, is it possible for us to know the output from these areas? Because it sounds as if many are just holding lands and not necessarily producing on these properties that they claim that they own.
Meanwhile, MP Crawford says reports indicate that roof loss from Hurricane Melissa or during Hurricane Melissa was more evident in bauxite mining communities.
Is the minister aware that there has been anecdotal evidence that there has been greater roof damage in bauxite areas relative to the wind than in most other areas that had even greater wind forces from the hurricane? That multiple roof loss have been attributed to weakened roofs due to the bauxite dust, acid rain, and the rusting that has been caused in these bauxite areas. Is the minister aware that there's been many damage to houses due to blasting from bauxite mining and also from the facilitation of bauxite mining? And further aware that the damage to these areas have been refused compensation, with the bauxite entities unwilling even to visit when informed by many of these communities, like Wandibolas.
Damian Crawford, MP for Northwest St. Catherine. In response, Minister Green suggested that MP Crawford make a formal request for information, as some of the answers require investigation. The minister says he'll be meeting with the Jamaica Bauxite Institute as well as MPs who represent communities in constituencies affected by bauxite.
I was unaware of any difficulty in having meetings with JBI, right? And that we will fix. So already prior to this, I had said in the last time we had a conversation around bauxite that I have planned to convene a meeting with all the members of parliament from bauxite areas, and I've directed the JBI to do so. So when we have that meeting, which I expect to have within the next 2 weeks, because I also want to speak about the bauxite community development program that we're going into, that some of these issues will be raised and will be dealt with.
And that sentence should have read all MPs who represent bauxite communities. Regional news now. Guyana's Ministry of Health has issued an alert urging heightened vigilance for patients presenting with severe body pains and fever amid confirmed cases of chikungunya in neighboring Suriname. Suriname has reported 8 confirmed cases of the mosquito-borne illness. Guyana's Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, says while the country has not recorded any local cases, the alert is a precautionary measure. He noted that one imported case was recorded in October 2025. Dr. Anthony says Guyana routinely tests patients with flu-like symptoms for dengue. If those tests are negative, further screening is done for other viral infections such as chikungunya. Meanwhile, Guyana's health minister says the ministry has strengthened mosquito control efforts in response to the risk. Further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump has withdrawn an invitation to Canada to join his newly constituted Board of Peace. Trump made the announcement in a post on Truth Social addressed to Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney. The post on Thursday evening did not give a reason for the decision. Ottawa previously indicated it would not pay the $1 billion Trump demands from permanent members. Canada said it would, however, join on principle. Trump's Board of Peace was originally thought to be aimed at helping end the 2-year war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza and oversee reconstruction. It's now being billed by the U.S. as a new international organization for resolving conflicts. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. $250K to help you to give gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile. Gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
People, did you know reducing the use of cash at toll locations makes it safer for everyone involved? Did you also know that using cash costs more? That's why TransJam Highways has a target of having 80% of all trips on the highway be made through the T-Tag lane by 2028. By using the T-Tag, you avoid the use of cash at the toll plazas and you move quicker through the T-Tag express lane. And if for Class 1 and Class 2, you actually pay cheaper toll rates. So use the T-Tag lane every time.
Make smart money moves like a winner and use your T-Tag every time.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Morning, George, and the listeners, morning, public or visitors, and I know you had a great time. And all our transport operators, we need them to do all the different modes of transportation, land, air, sea, taxi operators, minibus operators, and we wish we could, sometimes we get a bad name, and we wish we could, do the right things, such as not the improper overtaking and all of that, and be courteous to our passengers and our clients. We wish all of that. So let's try and keep that going. Anyway, the situation on our roads is that the major roadways are busy at this time. Spanish Stone Road from 6 miles to 3 miles along the Mandela, but it's moving along the Mandela on the eastbound side to 6 miles. There's a gap. There's some traffic along from 6 miles to Washington Boulevard, but there's a gap there between Mullines Boulevard intersection where there is traffic, and then there's a gap there where it is free-flowing until they get over that in the vicinity of the overpass. Some of the vehicles are making it onto Reddy's Road, and some are continuing onto Dunrobin, where you have a build-up of traffic going along Dunrobin Avenue to go across the Constant Spring Road. You also have traffic coming down Constant Spring Road. Some is coming from as far as Upper Waterloo. They make that turn, onto West Kings House Road, and then it's compounded by the traffic going all the way down into Harvey Square. Eastwood Park Road is flowing from that side coming onto Constant Spring, but you're going to have traffic from Reddy's Road to make it onto Eastwood Park, then onto Constant Spring Road. And just to remind you also that if you're up in that Ligonier area, it's quite active as you try to make your way from as far as Papine to Matilda's Corner and in the vicinity of the embassy. You have to be very careful. People are crossing and all of that. And then Hollow Road coming down, going past Seaview Avenue, Stanton Terrace, all these areas quite active as you make your way down. The top of Mountain View flowing all the way down to the bottom going past Dean area, but you also remember this, that's a school area, so you're going to find a build up there. As a matter of fact, from the bottom of Mountain View Avenue coming up, there is traffic. Winod Road from as early this morning was quite active. It remains so, and it will continue to be so during the course of the day. A lot of traffic in many other areas, but remember, motorists, we always advise, please do not block the intersections. It is so important, but that also compounds the traffic. And that little out and bad situation that vehicles tend to keep on the other side of the lane and impedes vehicular flow also. So we're reminding of all these things. And as usual, we want to say have a great weekend. At Street Smart, your safety is our concern. It's over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, Front Page. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. APC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. .23 on the clock. You're on the front page here nationwide this morning. My name is George.
And I'm Tana.
Right. So we were set to speak to Keith Darian, who is in charge of financial investigations at the FID, the Financial Investigations Division. Beg your pardon, Courtney Smith from the FID. Before we do that, there's a matter that came in the news on, it happened on Thursday, and the excellent court reporter from The Observer, Alicia Dunkley-Willis, senior reporter, she did a story on it, and I read it early this morning, and I found it to be very revealing in terms of the thinking of the judge and her interpretation of the matter at hand. What I'm talking about is that Observer story concerning the former president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, LaSonia Harrison, and her bid to have the Supreme Court nullify the March 2023 agreement signed by the union accepting the government's wage offer of a 20% minimum increase in basic salary after tax. Now, LaSonia Harrison, when Mark Malaver's term ends, will be the next JTA president. So she served, stepped away, 2 JTA presidents in between, because before Mark Malaver it was Dr. Mark Smith from Monroe College, the principal there, outstanding man. So from Dr. Mark Smith to Mark Malaver, and then we're going to go back to LaSonia Harrison again. Now, for context, when that agreement was signed by the JTA, when the vote was taken and organized, and taken among JTA members, LaSonia Harrison was the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. And it is after she stepped away from the role as president and with other things. I'm being told by my producer that not only did the vote that she brought to court was organized when she was JTA president, and that the vote happened when she was JTA president. I'm being told that she chaired the meeting
where the vote
was taken. And then after all that, she went and she applied to the court to have all of that thrown out. And I'll tell you on what basis. You have the article there? Well, let me strike on.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia Dunkley-Willis writes in The Observer, and I think it's important for the listeners to hear this. Harrison, who served as JTA president for 2022 to 2023, and who has since been re-elected for a new term set to begin this year, filed a claim in the Supreme Court last July challenging the validity of the special general meeting held in March 2023, during which the agreement was signed. My note is, she's challenging the validity of a meeting that was organized under her leadership, that was held under her leadership, and which she chaired. Back to the article. She argued that the meeting was not convened in accordance with the Articles of Association of the JTA, making the agreement therefore null and void and of no legal effect. My note, she went to the court to argue that the meeting that she convened, the meeting that she presided over, she argued that that meeting was not convened in accordance with the Articles of Association of the JTA, making the agreement of accepting the 20% minimum increase in basic salary after tax. That agreement was therefore null and void and of no legal effect. The article continues. The veteran educator, who's also principal of St. Faith's Primary School in St. Catherine, sought several declarations from the court, including that the purported special conference was unlawful in that the vote that took place at said conference was not in keeping with the constitution of the JTA. My note, she told the court that this conference that she organized, attended, and chaired, that conference was unlawful in that the vote that took place at the conference that she organized, attended, and cheered was not in keeping with the constitution of the JTA. Back to the article. Alicia Willis Dunkley Willis writes, a total of 776 people participated in that special conference, which was held virtually on March 12, 2023. Of that number, 629 of the 776 voted to accept the ministry's offer. 147 of the 776 voted to reject it. Based on the majority vote of the delegates, the government's proposal was accepted and the signing was done on March 13, 2023. Now, this is the point at which the fly fell into the ointment, because the article says Harrison did not sign the proposal. Instead, it was signed by the president-elect at the time. The article continues. She further sought a declaration from the court that the constitution of the JTA does not provide for a special meeting to be conducted online. It was an online meeting, as well as a further declaration that the online voting that was done on March 12, 2023 was unlawful, null and void, and of no effect, in that the delegates did not vote in keeping with Section 14 of the Constitution of the JTA. Harrison, the article continues, who was represented by attorney Hugh Wildman, further sought to have the tribunal declare that, under the Constitution of the JTA, any special conference convened must be held with the physical presence of all delegates who participated in the vote, and not by virtual voting, and a declaration that under the Constitution of the JTA, there is no provision for a virtual conference to be convened as a form of special conference pursuant to Section 14 of the Constitution of the JTA. My note, remember, all of the things she's now saying and all of the things she told the court was wrong with the conference, and why the conference shouldn't have been held, and why therefore any decision taken at the conference was null and void and of no effect. She was the one who organized said conference, who attended said conference in the role as chairman, played the role of chairman. She was central to the same conference she was now said had several flaws. She was now saying had several flaws. Let me take the break and come back and tell you what the judge said in responding to the applications that LaSonia Harrison made.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, what we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
7:30.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Stepping confidently into a new year starts with one simple, powerful word. Yes! Say yes to new beginnings. Say yes to a secure future. Say yes to living the life you love with your family. With health and life insurance from Sagicor Life, we're here to give you the protection and peace of mind you deserve in 2026. All you have to do is say yes to what matters most. Call 888 Sagicor to speak with an advisor today.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Reading for you because it is so important. Yeah? A story published in the Jamaica Observer written by senior reporter. She's very, very good in the court, Alicia Dunkley Willis. And she is chronicling what happened in the case brought to the court by LaSonia Harrison, former JTA president. Effectively, when Mrs. Harrison was president 2022 to 2023, JTA members convened online for a vote on whether to accept a 20% minimum increase in salary after tax from the government. They voted to accept the proposal. Mrs. Harrison, who organized the meeting as JTA president, who saw to it that the meeting was executed as JTA president, who chaired the meeting, then applied to the court to say the meeting wasn't properly convened. The issues, therefore, that the meeting agreed on were of no effect, null and void, and therefore of no effect. And she was asking the court to assert her findings. In her evidence presented to the court, I'm continuing with the article, Harrison argued that she had a duty to ensure that what was done at the special conference was in keeping with the JTA's constitution. To that end, she said she sought and obtained legal advice, and based on the advice she received, she concluded that the voting was not done in keeping with Section 14 of the JTA Constitution, which mandates that all voting at a special conference must be done in the physical presence of all the delegates. She contended that since the special conference did not conform to Sections 13 and 14 of the Constitution, the vote taken at that special conference was unlawful, null and void, and of no effect, meaning that the salary package which was accepted by delegates and given to the members is void, as the JTA was not properly constituted in carrying out the vote to accept the government's offer. All right, you must be asking now, listeners, so what did the judge say, Judge? Here is what the judge says now. Supreme Court Judge Justice Tania Mott Tolo-Reid, in assessing whether Harrison was in the first place even the proper person to bring the claim, said, quote, if the majority of the members were of the view that the salary package offered by the Ministry of Finance was a reasonable one, this court is unable to comprehend the basis on which this claim is being made by a sole member acting on her own initiative with no instructions from the group of which she's a part. The quote from Justice Tania Mott Tolo-Reid continues. It is also to be noted that the claimant in bringing this claim is not acting in a representative capacity. She makes the claim on her own behalf and seeks relief on her own behalf. Her affidavit is sworn on her own behalf as a member of the defendant and an immediate past president. There is nothing in her evidence which suggests to this court that the remedies she seeks are being sought on behalf of the membership as a whole, although it is clear that any decision made will affect the membership as a whole, Justice Tolo-Reid said. Now, in dismissing Harrison's arguments, Justice Tolo-Reid said, quote, the meeting at which the decision was taken to accept the counter-offer proposed by the Ministry of Finance, which was done virtually and which vote was taken by a show of hands virtually in 2023, was in accordance with the resolutions passed in 2021 and in keeping with the amendments to the Companies Act also passed in 2021. In refusing the orders sought by Harrison, Justice Tolo-Reid, in the ruling handed down on January 19, said, quote, I am of the view that the defendant, which is the JTA, was authorized by its own constitution to accept the wage package that was offered by the government of Jamaica. My orders are therefore as follows. The orders sought by LaSonia Harrison in the fixed date claim form filed on July 10, 2024 are refused. LaSonia Harrison is to pay the Jamaica Teachers Association costs in the claim, which are to be taxed if not agreed, and she should pay the lawyers used by the Jamaica Teachers Association and serve the judgment. Attorneys Caroline Hay, King's Counsel Caroline Hay, and Zuri Johnson, instructed by Hay McDowell Attorneys at Law, they represented the Jamaica Teachers Association. Justice Tolo-Reid, good morning to you, ma'am. And I see good sense prevailing in this matter, Tana Thomas.
And on that note, we turn attention to different matters having to do with the courts in a sense. The Financial Investigations Division, FID, has handed over 8 motor vehicles to the JCF's Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, CTOC. The vehicles were forfeited to the Crown following the successful prosecution of several financial crimes by the FID. Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations at the FID, Keith Darian, says the country benefits when there is collaboration between the public and FID.
This handover is a clear example of how our collaboration with the JCF is multi-layered to include investigations, prosecutions, and recovery that can translate into real operational support for our CTOC. When the public supports the FID and our partner law enforcement agencies in combating crime, the country benefits. Even at a modest scale, asset recovery can reduce pressure on government resources by returning the proceeds of crime to strengthen the crime-fighting machinery. This is what it looks like to remove the benefits from crime.
Keith Darian, Principal Director of Financial Crimes Investigations at the FID. In a release on Thursday, FID noted that 6 of the 8 vehicles were forfeited from fraud matters. The final one, valued at over $7 million, was forfeited from a corruption case. The FID says the handover formed part of its ongoing efforts to identify and recover assets derived from criminal conduct. Meanwhile, Director of the Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, Senior Superintendent Patrick Rowe, says that the vehicles will support the work of CTOC and FNID.
These vehicles received from FID today most certainly will strengthen our operational mobility and will certainly add value to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, and it will allow for quicker and more responsive action without diverting already burdened police resource that could be used otherwise. This handover demonstrates what coordinated law enforcement can achieve. Assets linked to criminality are recovered through due process and redirected into public safety. It is a tangible example of partnership in action, and it reinforces the broader point that when the public supports the work of FNID and FID, they combine effort redound to the benefits of the country and the Jamaican people.
SSP Patrick Rowe, head of FNID. We're being joined now by the Senior Director of Legal Services at the FID, Courtney Smith. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. If you could, Courtney, give us an overview of the total number of assets seized last year.
Well, I wouldn't be able to give you an exact figure, but it's somewhere just under $1 billion of assets that are being totally managed by the division, whether by restrained properties or by properties actually forfeited. So there are 2 classes of properties being managed. So they're either restrained or actually forfeited to the Crown.
Mm-hmm. And explain to our listeners the restrained property versus those forfeited to the Crown.
The restrained properties are those which we have identified to be potentially recoverable, and we have taken steps through the court to formally prevent the title owners from dealing with them or otherwise transferring them, selling them, dissipating them. Mm-hmm. So the court has basically said to the owners, these properties are under lock and key, you can't touch them until the court process is finished. So that's the restrained property. Mm-hmm. And now the forfeited properties are the ones that we have actually gone to court and gotten an order to say, these properties no longer belong to you, registered owner. The Crown is taking them because we have proven to the relevant standard that you have acquired them through illicit means or have used them to do some illicit purpose.
Mm-hmm. And for the restrained properties that are under the control of the FID, Courtney, what sort of properties are we talking about here, and what cases are being investigated in relation to those properties?
We're talking about a range of properties, real properties, houses, vacant lots, complexes, sometimes business complexes, those types of real property. We're also talking about personal property, being motor vehicles, jewelry, expensive jewelry, and the like.
And what sort of cases are attached to these properties? Is it, fraud, scamming? What sort of cases?
There are a whole range of cases. You have named 2 of the more popular ones: fraud, money laundering cases generally, persons, in even cases where we're not quite able to figure out exactly what crime was committed, we're dealing with those where persons are actually handling high volumes of assets and cash that cannot be legitimately accounted for, those types of offences as well. You may have occasionally some murders for hire that we consider as well. So a wide range of offences.
Morning, Courtney. I've always been curious to know, property that is held in the name of someone else, but which your investigation shows you belong to the person you are investigating or who has been prosecuted successfully. What's the process like going around trying to get that into the possession of the state?
Well, once we have identified that type of property, the first step is to give the title owner notice that, hey, we are aware that there's evidence suggesting that you are just a nominee, and we are taking these steps to forfeit this property which you have in your name for these reasons. That person will then have the opportunity to attend court in person or by counsel to mount their defense. And it's only after that process where persons are given an opportunity to ventilate their side of the story with the judge that a forfeiture order is made.
So it is only in the court that matter can be resolved. There's not provision for a deal to be struck by the nominee, the titular owner of the property, and the FID. You don't work out something before you go to court.
That's that ticklish situation. There's nothing illegal with working out a deal, but to prevent the appearance of anything untoward, we usually wait until we have legal standing, having issued or initiating documents, and then we invite persons in a formal way to indicate what their position is. The law does allow for settlements, and we do in fact have several matters that are disposed of through negotiated settlements, but to protect ourselves and others from being accused of anything, we go through the proper channel that the law allows.
I would imagine that given how nobody voluntarily interacts with the court if does that. So you'd think that the moment the FID comes and saying, listen, this thing is the subject of criminal proceedings, and we know that the beneficial owner is not you are just the owner on paper, and we'd like to move to take this piece of property or this item into the possession of the state, that people would be afraid of wanting to go to court, so they'll quickly comply. So I say that to ask if in the majority of cases, in many cases, these things are resolved before you go to the court, or the court is the arena where much of these issues are resolved.
There's a fair share of both. Jamaica has become increasingly litigious. Persons are not as afraid of the court as before, and I support that. Persons are advancing arguments before the court that were never before are advanced, and those things are welcomed because the judges now have an opportunity to pronounce on it and to settle the area of law even more. So persons do file their defenses, and they do attend court with counsel more often than not. The ones that we see that don't attend court are usually the actual persons who are being accused of the criminal offense.
Yes.
They are the ones who stay away.
Yes.
For the most part. But third parties who would have maybe been gifted something would defend their gift to the very end.
Yeah, the break is upon me, but I want to finish the point so we don't have to come back to it. So what about those cases where property subject to criminal proceedings is owned not by an individual but registered in the name of a company? Does that make the issue more knotty?
can, because now you have to go into the whole issue of the owner, the real owner, the person who is behind the scenes, not named. So the investigation can get a little bit more tricky, but it's the same set of steps. It's just that you may have to repeat those steps several times depending on the number of directors, the number of shareholders, the number of persons who you think are behind the scenes pulling the puppet strings.
Hold the line for us, Courtney Smith, Senior Director, Legal Services at the FID. More after the break.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612 to 5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
7:48.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
You know, it's a joke thing every time you don't use a T-tag. I mean, with a T-tag, your 10th trip every week is free. And for every trip after that for the same week, it's 10% off. So yeah, wait, Pam. Get your T-tag today and drive like the winner you are every time.
Save money and save time. If you don't have a tag, you are waste time. Yeah, your seatbelt buckle and you're driving safe. Use up your T-tag, drive and save.
Drive like the winner you deserve to be with the T-tag every time.
This is a public service announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Scam alert. Kingston Wharves does not sell cars. Kingston Wharves advises the public of a scam that has come to its attention. Unscrupulous persons posing as company representatives are advertising repossessed cars for sale. KWL wishes to re-emphasize that the company is not in the business of selling cars. We ask members of the public to continue to exercise caution when transacting business. For further information, email customer.services@kwljm.com or call 876-618-1068. That was a public service announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. On the front page, talking about the Financial Investigation Division, their work where forfeiting assets is concerned. Very happy to have Courtney Smith with us. He's the Senior Director of Legal Services at the FID, and we're happy because so many times a lot of the conversation around how assets are forfeited, or the forfeited assets are then used, disposed of, whatever, it's hostage to misinformation because people just don't know. So Courtney Smith is shedding light on the process to forfeit assets, especially where John Tom, who is the convicted criminal, owns 6 BMW X6s and X7s, but him have them in a Ryan Brown name. And the FID says, that won't stop us from taking it because we're going to do what we have to do. And then Ryan Brown will have to come to court and prove that he owns these things legitimately. And they say, even if it's registered in the name of a company, it will be a more complex matter, but we'll still use the same process. And the company will have to prove what our investigation is showing us, that these represent criminal property, is indeed legitimate property owned by them. Welcome back, Courtney Smith.
Thank you.
Good. Here's where we're going now along the issue of forfeitures. consequent upon that statement yesterday where Keith Darian said the vehicles that had been forfeited were being handed over to some to the police CTOC branch, some to the police FNID branch, what process does the FID use to determine how it treats assets that are now in its possession having been forfeited from criminals? So how do you determine which agency of government to give? If you have real estate, if you have land, if you have an apartment complex, if you have an apartment unit, how do you then determine what to do with it, who to give it to under the government umbrella, or do you even sell it and the proceeds, what do you do with the proceeds?
Well, the preferred position is to sell it, to realize the assets, convert it to liquid, and thereafter place it in the relevant accounts. So some of it will go to the consolidated fund upon realization, and some of it will be in an account maintained by the agency for the benefit of the agency's work as the law dictates. So the various statutes tell us what to do with the realized proceeds. If, however, there are two circumstances that can arise. Some assets we may not be able to sell them even with the best of efforts, because they are the proceeds of crime, and some persons may readily be able to identify them and might not be willing to associate themselves with certain types of properties, knowing who the owners were. So in those circumstances, or if we have any other circumstance where the sale is not possible, then the option exists for us to, as was done yesterday, assign assets to different government agencies based on the need for the resources, and always subject to the necessary checks and balances, the approvals from the relevant heads of ministries and agencies and so on. So no one individual can say, I'm going to give this car to that agency. It's a process in which permissions are sought and agreements are reached to say we will give and this agency will receive these assets for a particular purpose.
So then, thank you for that. So then, in the example of so you forfeited, you've done all the necessary. So you forfeited Nissan Frontier, a pickup, yes. And you've also forfeited BMW X6 or a Range Rover. Clearly, the police not gonna have any use for a BMW X6 or a Range Rover, but they'll have use for a Nissan Frontier, which is a pickup. So then, the kind of asset, as you were saying, you'd rather be you'd be inclined to sell the X6 and the Range Rover, and then get the cash to either put into the FID or to put into the Consol fund. But you have like a Nissan Frontier, then you are saying that clearly there are agencies of government that could benefit from having a pickup added to their fleet. Is that the reasoning?
And I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss even the X6 because theoretically you may have need for a surveillance, a covert
undercover car. Good point,
yes.
Sir.
so it all depends. There's a discussion taking place to identify the specific need, and if we have any asset that can fit that need and which we are unable to otherwise dispose of, then this serious discussion is available.
Yes.
Just to bring home the point with an example, I went on a training once, and the subject of the training was the fact that, or disclosed the fact that in Ferraris were being assigned to the police force in Italy.
Yes.
And those are extremely expensive vehicles. And the police, without fear, the joke was that they were just crashing the vehicles because they didn't have the training and the expertise necessary to drive that type of vehicle and handle it in high-speed situations as yet.
Yes.
And the joke was, let us drive them and crash them and mash them up and show show the people that crime doesn't pay for real.
I hear you on that. We're out of time. I want to thank you this morning. Really appreciate you shedding light on an area that people always talk about but never have enough information on. I'm certain that you have informed and educated some people this morning. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Courtney.
Courtney Smith, Senior Director Legal Services at the FID. You remember we were coming from St. Elizabeth last Friday, and I don't know if you saw me post in the group a Ferrari passing us on the highway, a black one.
Yes.
So Nick Lou, you know Nick Lou, everybody know Nick Lou. Nick Lou, the fast car, fancy car man. So Nick Lou says that the Ferrari is so fast and powerful. Him say he didn't go to the maximum speed because clearly him can't manage it like that. But he went high on the highway. And him say he must pull over and sit down and make him heart. Come out of the car, sit down at the curb and make him heart settle because him couldn't manage it. And it was nowhere near top speed. Anyway, hot listings. Time now.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Come to Kalima's Complete Skin and Nail Bar, located at 49 Upper Waterloo Road. Book your next appointment with a licensed esthetician offering beauty therapy, nail services, body waxing, fusion eyelash extensions, and microblading. Call us today, 876-421-5557. That's 876-421-5557. Pure Photography, professional photography services based in Kingston. Capturing weddings, engagements, portraits, and special events with a focus on real moments, beautiful details, and timeless images. Contact us at 876-417-0635. That's 876-417-0635. Or visit purephotographyjamaica.com. Make your event come together with the right rentals. Popcorn machines, snow cone machines, elegant gold Chiavari chairs, 6-foot trestle tables, round tables that seat 8, bistro tables, and umbrellas for your round tables. Call or WhatsApp 876-304-0515. That's 876-304-0515.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8 o'clock.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Friday morning, Friday, January 23, 2026, I'm Tawna Thomas. The Canada Fund for Local Initiatives, CFLI, has awarded 32 million Jamaican dollars to 11 humanitarian and community-based organizations to support education recovery and community-led development following Hurricane Melissa. The organizations were recognized during a spotlight event at Terra Nova All Suites Hotel in St. Andrew on Thursday. Collectively, the projects address pressing challenges facing Jamaican communities, including access to education and student well-being, peace building and violence prevention, gender-based violence prevention and mental health, youth empowerment and economic resilience, climate resilience, and sustainable livelihoods. 2 of the projects are dedicated to education recovery in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Called School in a Box, the projects are being implemented by the Save Our Boys and Girls Foundation in collaboration with Edufocal and Project Star's Hurricane Melissa Educational Restart Initiative. It's intended to benefit more than 4,000 students in Western Jamaica. Under the project, primary school students displaced by Hurricane Melissa will receive community-based learning support through self-contained learning kits, and train community mentors, ensuring education continuity and psychosocial support. The other 9 CFLI beneficiary projects reflects Canada's prior commitment to community-led initiatives. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Rhoda Moy Crawford, welcomed the engagement, noting that Canada's support to Jamaica through the CFLI and wider humanitarian initiatives has been ongoing for more than 35 years. Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Catherine, Damon Crawford, says reports indicate that roof loss from Hurricane Melissa was more evident in bauxite mining communities.
Is the minister aware that there has been anecdotal evidence that there has been greater roof damage in bauxite areas relative to the wind than in most other areas that had even greater wind forces from the hurricane? That multiple roof loss have been attributed to weakened roofs due to the bauxite dust, acid rain, and the rusting that has been caused in these bauxite areas. Is the minister aware that there has been many damage to houses due to blasting from bauxite mining and also from the facilitation of bauxite mining? And further aware that the damage to these areas have been refused compensation, with the bauxite entities unwilling even to visit when informed by many of these communities, like Wandibolas.
Damon Crawford, MP for Northwest St. Catherine. In response, Mining Minister Floyd Green suggested that MP Crawford make a formal request for information, as some of the answers require investigation. The minister says he will be meeting with the Jamaica Bauxite Institute as well as MPs who represent bauxite communities.
I was unaware of any difficulty in having meetings with JBI, right? And that we will fix. So already prior to this, I had said in the last time we had a conversation around bauxite that I have planned to convene a meeting with all the members of parliament from bauxite areas, and I have directed the JBI to do so. So when we have that meeting, which I expect to have within the next 2 weeks, because I also want to speak about the bauxite community development program that we're going into, that some of these issues will be raised and will be dealt with.
Floyd Green, a Minister of Agriculture and Mining. And that's it for Across Jamaica.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? GeoLand Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. GeoLand Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
The Commission of Strata Corporations is here to help, but we need your help too. That's why corporations are required to file annual returns. Annual returns include minutes of AGMs and EGMs, names and addresses of executive committee members, certificates of insurance, and completed forms and fees. Help us, help you. File your annual returns today. Visit reb.gov.jm for more information.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
Get a deal, share a smile and win with Digicel. Own a brand new Samsung Galaxy smartphone for as low as $9,500 plus tax when you buy a SIM. Activate a 28-day plan or switch to Digicel. And here's the best part, you could win $250,000 cash. The Digicel Gift a Smile promotion is authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period December 1, 2025 to January 24, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more ways to win and more reasons to smile this season. Digicel, reconnecting Jamaica, one smile at a time.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Well, in today's evolving tech landscape, how important and relevant are discussions around data privacy? Digital Business and Simtai are hosting a webinar on Tuesday, January 27 at 10 a.m. under the theme Trust That Converts, Improve Customer Experience and Brand Value. For more, I'm being joined by Director Assurance and Compliance Services at Simtai Consulting Limited, Stuart Hamilton. Good morning, Stuart.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, you're welcome. Firstly, the webinar title, Trust That Converts, Improve Customer Experience and Brand Value. What motivated that title, and what does that title tell us about what the webinar is expected to cover?
Sure, thanks for the question. The concern here is that we don't want persons to continue to treat privacy compliance as a checkbox exercise, that persons only view being compliant with legislation or requirements outside the business as a hindrance to their business growth. So the concept here is that persons are going to pay attention to what the law requires, and they're also going to use it as an added value to their business growth. If persons recognize how they can trust a company with their information, then they are going to want to do more business. They are going to do more business faster. They are going to avoid the companies that are not necessarily trying to comply, because using their data in an irresponsible way or in a way that's not compliant to the act could be harmful to the individual themselves. So the idea is that persons can look at their privacy programs, understand that they have a DPO in place, and take advantage of that for business growth.
You know, it's funny you said checkbox issues in your response. Let me do some checkbox questions, and then we get into our reasoning. So who should attend the webinar?
All companies, any organization that is using information about people, both in terms of their employees as well as customers, because even data about your employees can be used in a beneficial way. Understanding your employee base is going to help you understand what are ways to improve the engagement and the experience of your employees within your company. So if you are in a management role, or if you're even in a role where you're intending to grow in the company and wanting to show the value and benefits of what's happening from the privacy perspective, definitely attend the webinar to learn more about how you can treat privacy as a business enabler rather than a compliance checkbox.
4 days away from the webinar, how can I register?
You can register on the digital website, I believe, or call your digital account manager. So for any organization that everybody who uses digital, of course, you have an account manager. You can contact them to get more information on how to register. But I do believe there's a link on the website as well.
Yeah, all right. So those things out of the way. Here's the thing now, Stuart. In this day and age where there are so many portals with so much of our information, so you subscribe to the Observer, you subscribe to Nationwide, you subscribe to the Gleaner, you subscribe to the Guardian, you subscribe to Daily Mail, you have a TikTok account, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, this, that, all the other, YouTube, and all that. So much of your data is existing on the World Wide Web. It's on the internet. Why this importance around data privacy when you can't really function in this modern world with your data having to be all over the globe because of the services that you have to interface with?
Right. No, of course. You can't subscribe to a service without providing some basic information. The key here around compliance is making sure that the organizations are doing that data collection and data use responsibly. And so you're not faced with challenges as a customer where an organization is asking you for more information about you than is necessary. I wouldn't want to sign up for TikTok or subscribe to TikTok and have them ask me for my medical history, for example. But that's a practice that some organizations have had because there was no restrictions on what they could collect. And therefore, what they collected, they could then use. And if they're able to use more and more information about you without any particular guardrails, or they're not doing it with some ethic and concern for your privacy and for your benefit, then they may end up using it in a harmful way or in a way that's harmful to you. outside of that, there's also the potential for that information to be breached. They're collecting so much information about you, and if they're not protecting it properly, then they don't have a structured way to prevent somebody who should not have access to it from accessing it, then that becomes a way for those persons with malicious intent to use the information against you. And this shouldn't be limited to us thinking about just our financial information, where, you know, we don't want anybody who shouldn't have our bank account information to have it because they might steal our money. Other things can be done. If persons have your address that shouldn't have your address, they know where to find you. And of course, we know how much harm can happen if somebody comes to your address who is not wanted. So the concept here is that, yes, you are going to provide information to multiple places in multiple ways, and they have to use it in order to keep an account with you. But let's make sure that they're doing it responsibly and limiting it to exactly what is necessary and nothing more.
And so what responsibility do companies have to protect the data that is given to them by their customers and clients, and to resist the real urge to monetize data with third parties that they weren't given permission to so do by the said customers and clients?
Right. And that's core to what the Data Protection Act is. It provides you with 8 standards for how you should collect, store, use, and protect personal data. So any data you have about an individual, it's providing you with a structure for what you should make sure you're doing when you collect it. If you're collecting sensitive information, then we may need persons to provide consent or other lawful reasons for doing so. If we are going to sell it or monetize the information, it is not saying you can't do it. It's saying that you have to follow a certain process to do it, such as getting the individual's consent and notifying them that is happening. But some persons may be okay with that. But we must do this in a very clear way, and a way that persons can appreciate that's what's happening. And some instances we may have to we may have to figure out a way to do it in a way, and we may have to create some benefits to the individual if that's what we're doing. Yeah. So gone are the days where one company collects the information, they sells it to another, you have no idea that it's happening, and one day you get an email from somebody else that says, yes, we have your information as well. That shouldn't happen. You should be aware that is what's going to take place, and have the choice to proceed or not, or even not be restricted from doing business if you're not okay with it.
Hear you on that. So Tuesday, January 27, 10 a.m., Digicel Business Simtai, the webinar, Trust That Converts, Improve Customer Experience and Brand Value. You're saying that there is a lot of utility in being a part of that webinar, is what you're saying this morning, Stuart.
Yes, very much so.
Thank you very much for your time, and all the best to you.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Director, Assurance and Compliance Services at Simtai Consulting Limited, Stuart Hilton.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:15.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
People, did you know reducing the use of cash at toll locations makes it safer for everyone involved? Did you also know that using cash costs more? That's why TransJam Highways has a target of having 80% of all trips on the highway be made through the T-Tag lane by 2028. By using the T-Tag, you avoid the use of cash at the toll plazas, and you move quicker through the T-Tag express lane. And if for Class 1 and Class 2, you actually pay cheaper toll rates. So use the T-Tag lane every time.
Make smart money moves like a winner and use your T-Tag every time.
Attention, doctors, scientists, veterinarians, estheticians, occupational therapists, and the general public, especially those affected by stroke, diabetes, autism, Alzheimer's, memory loss, or skin conditions. Join Jamaica's first New Age Regenerative Stem Cell Medicine Conference, January 31 to February 1, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Jamaica Conference Center. Learn from world-renowned experts, including Professor Mike Chan and Professor Jonathan Lakey, as they explore human and animal stem cell breakthroughs. Register at eventbrite.com or scdleapja.com.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica presents the IFRS Workshop 2026 under the theme Resilience and Recovery. Join leading experts on January 30 and 31 in person at Summit 16 Chelsea Avenue or online via Zoom. Learn about IFRS 18 and 19, IFRS for SMEs, AI in financial reporting, sustainability standards, and financial lessons from Hurricane Melissa. Plus, earn your CPD credits. Register now at icaj.org. Deadline January 23. Don't miss it.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane relief cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, and we're going to the design studio with the design diva Karen Booker to find out what's coming up in the show tomorrow. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tana. We're back again on the big show.
Indeed, indeed. How are ya?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good in the neighborhood. So, Karen.
Yes, darling.
What's coming up on the show tomorrow?
All right, so as you know, this is a little show that you never knew you needed until you watch it and you listen to it, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, you can watch, of course, how people are streaming now on Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 on YouTube. Go over there right now and please subscribe. So here's the thing now. Tomorrow, as you know, we're lifestyle and decor. Mm-hmm. There's a feedback. Anyway, there's lifestyle and decor. We have design lab. We have what we can do, where we implore everybody to send in their questions right away to the Nationwide hotline, which is 876-280-6629. We also have Thrive 360, which we have tomorrow. I don't know if you know about this lady, which you should. If you don't know her, then you're under a rock. Tishana Indomitable Mullings. She is a multi-potentialite. She is an impact specialist. She is somebody who will reset your soul. And as you know, we have our theme for January is reset. So she's going to come in and she's going to create our systems and just reset our whole nervous system so we will be definitely productive. Then we have in interior design, Kewana, the painter girl, woman in construction, child of the light, and artistic painter Campbell. We're going to go through her journey so she can inspire everybody else who wants to be in the interior design and decor field. So we have a jam-packed show for you tomorrow. We want everybody to run over there tomorrow. Remember, Saturdays is the time when, the world stops. We have Talk of Youth in the morning, then I'm sandwiched in the middle, and after that, we have Outside with Pepita. So we don't want you to run away from Talk of Youth. There's something in it for everybody in Design Studio, and then stay now for, of course, Outside with Pepita.
So for tomorrow, Karen, right, you said you're focusing on mindset, and I wanted to ask before we let you go, how does the way, for example, our home is organized actually impact our mindset?
Sometimes our home is fighting us, Our homes are fighting us because we haven't set systems in place. Mm-hmm. When we have, and I'll slow this down, in January we're going to reset. We're going to have all of these resolutions and so on. If you don't have this systems in place that will allow you to function and get there, what will happen is by February, you get all daunted and then nothing is done.
Yeah.
So therefore, if it is that you're running out in the morning and you can't even get some coffee or some tea or so on, that means that your kitchen fighting you. Your kitchen is against you. What you need to do is to set that, get a coffee maker or get on a timer. So therefore, the system is now, you don't have to think about it. When you set a system in place in your home, that's something that that's one less thing that you have to think about. Mm-hmm. Set your intention the day before, set out your clothes, set out your shoes. On a Sunday when you're doing your reset, make sure that you know what you're wearing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It is a system. You went and you cleared out your drawer. Don't you feel good now?
Oh, absolutely. and I cleaned out so much more.
Yes.
It was a whole rejig. Yeah, it was a whole rejig, and I feel so much better. I feel so much better. My shoe closet, I cleaned that out as well. Yeah, I did a lot of resets, and trust me, it makes a whole lot of difference.
Whole lot. That's what I will say. You're going to organize by your lifestyle, not just by categories. Put things where you need them. Put things where you use them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Designate some success zones in your space. So therefore, that now will support your daily goals and your habits. If your home is fighting you and against you, you cannot be productive when you get out there. You just can't. Give everything in your space a home. So this is where the keys go. These are where your shoes go. This is where, your jewelry goes. I no longer have the perfume bottles because I want more. So everything that you're not using in a while, let it go. Sometimes our home is like a 3-strand cord to the past. Mm-hmm. We need to forget what is in the past and stretch forward to the future with our house.
Indeed, Karen. So it's all about reset tomorrow. It's lifestyle and decor. You want to tune in to the Design Studio, of course, Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. right after Talk Up Youth, live here on Nationwide 90 FM, and Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 is the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Karen.
There you go. Take care, and make sure you join us tomorrow. You joined us, and it was great.
Yeah,
and everybody on YouTube, if you're on YouTube now, who join us, hey, and it's Smith Wagwan, SH, yes.
They're in the chat. They're in the chat. See you tomorrow, Karen. Thank you so much.
They're in the chat. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye. Going to take a break here on NTM, and when we come back, we'll have more.
Yo, check this out. This is Ding Dong Ravers, one of your patrons for the Sagicor Sigma Run 2026. And this year, we are bringing out the best as we run, walk, and wheel for the West.
Hi, this is Lisa Hanno, and I'm proud to be a patron for this run in aid of funds to repair and rebuild schools damaged by Hurricane Melissa.
Hey, Public Civil here. I spent my whole life trying to break records, but this record is going to be special.
We're aiming to raise a record $150 million for children in the West.
Well, everybody come jump up, lace up, wheel up. Donate some money, everybody sign up. We are run for the West.
Sign up now at SagicorSigmaRun.com.
Hurricane Melissa may be over, but the emotional impact can linger. It's normal to feel anxious, sad, or overwhelmed. Talk about your feelings. Stay connected with family and friends and reach out for help if you need it. Call the Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. You can also access the You Matter chat line by messaging the word support to 876-838-4897 or at You Report Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift that keeps on giving. Speed Queen washers and dryers from Singer. Speed Queen appliances are built to last, providing you with reliable performance and efficient cleaning season after season. And for a limited time only, receive free laundry basket and Woolite detergent with your Speed Queen purchase from Singer. This Christmas, get 6 months to pay the cash price, 12 months no interest, and up to 24 months credit. Visit Singer today and get the ultimate laundry solution. Merry Christmas from Singer.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
You have to explain that one, because listeners, don't laugh. I don't think I'm weird. I'm not an alien. But I have never, ever in my life played ABC Fast or Slow. Never.
Are you gonna play today?
I gather. Growing up, I never liked games.
Yeah.
I liked, if the game of a ball, I'm not interested.
But I like these games because I liked Scrabble. So I
don't think I've ever played Scrabble.
What?
No, people always tell me, brother, you'd have mash up Scrabble.
Absolutely.
I suspect so, but
easily.
I've never played a game. I've seen people play it, I've never played.
Just like ABC Fast or Slow, you'll do well.
I've never played Scrabble. I've never played Draft. I've never played a game of Draft in my life.
Okay, that's I've never played.
I can't play cards.
Cards are fun.
The 3 cards, something I can do a little something. There's a game called 21 Cards where you try to count 21 or something like that. I think I played that once.
But my friends here at work, they taught me, is it called Imposter? Last year.
Yeah.
Last quarter of 2025. Yeah, they taught me how to play that one.
Yeah.
So it's cards, and you're supposed to take up a number of cards and then pretend as if you have a particular card as they go around the room. So they're going around the room from, I think it's the king going down. And when it gets to you, say for example, the person beside you had card number 3, you're supposed to pretend as if you have number 4.
Oh.
But what if you don't have 4 in your hand? Yeah, so because in here, I'm an honest person. So that was, giving me the headway in the beginning stages. Because they're like, no, Tana wouldn't lie.
And then you start telling lies.
I was lying away. I was saying, yeah, man, I have 6.
Yeah.
I have king, I have queen, and then Nora goes, no.
I don't know, man.
So eventually, Nora ratted me out.
I don't know. I growing up, Tana, I thought these games were a waste of time.
They're fun.
I absolutely have no.
They get your brain going.
Really?
Yes, man.
Not mine.
Because you fall on some letters and you have to think.
Anyway,
what?
You're going to teach me something this morning. So for the first time in my life, I'm playing ABC Fast or Slow. Tana go teach me.
Yeah, and don't look in the chat. I can look in the chat, but you
no, man. You don't need to look in the chat. Come on.
Come on
now. You see, Lily up my thing now, I don't need to look in the chat.
All right, so what we're going to do is go to the break, and on the break, we'll write up the paper, the categories, and then when we come back from the break, ABC, Fast or Slow, here on NTM.
So we must write.
So you're going to write boy, that's your first category.
How much do the paper? Like this or long way?
So this is what?
Okay.
So horizontal?
Yeah.
Right.
So write boy.
Right. Girl.
Beside boy.
Right. So this is how it's supposed to look.
Okay,
right,
cool.
Right. And then you have animal.
Animal.
Then there's place.
Place.
Then there's fruit.
Fruit.
And the last category is thing.
Thing. Man, a space there
and
for that.
You can go on the flip side.
Thing.
And total.
And total.
Right.
I almost put you on warning, though, you know.
Uh-huh.
You know me stay. So you know me go on with.
Yes, George. Very competitive. So we take a break here on NTM. When we come back from the break, ABC fast or slow? And I see Dahlia Shirley here saying ABC fast or slow, start, stop. Yeah, that's exactly how it's done. And Annie Smith says food. Right, so you can write /food at
Which one?
fruit.
At fruit?
Right.
Food, okay.
So we can add that. And Annie says ready. And Charmaine is joking, don't know ABC. Oh, you don't know the game? Well, you're going to learn today as well, Charmaine. So if you're at home, you have pen and paper close by, do up your categories as well.
Can I tell you that?
So those who don't know will be learning this morning.
Can I tell you that I've always looked at a game of... What the game name with them... Which one of the board game where them say you're born and you get shirtless and...
The YouTubers will know. Which one is that?
Which one of the game where you throw the dice
know.
king? Where you throw the dice and you count and... Where you go?
Ludi.
Ludi, right.
Yeah.
I always thought that Ludi and Domino are for people who are in prison. People who now go nowhere for a very, very long time. Because we can't understand you sit down and throw dice on board. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway.
All right, Jermaine, so we're going to take the break and then we come back from the break. Oh, we're good. All right, let's go.
All right, so
I'll start. ABC fast or slow?
So when you say that to me, what should I do?
Tell me whether to go fast or slow,
go.
saying the alphabet in my head. So ABC fast or slow?
Fast.
Try start.
Start. Stop.
H.
So hold on, I was just right under the boy name or right under everything?
Right and under everything.
Okay.
Right. All pencils down. All pencils down. Right. All pencils down.
All right.
No, it's me. It's me. All pencils down.
All right.
What's your boy?
Harry.
I have Harry too.
Okay, so 50-50?
50.
50.
Hannah.
Harriet.
Okay. Hog.
Horse.
Havana.
Holywell.
Hogberry.
Hogberry.
How you mean?
Horlicks. Hogberry, not the name Hogberry. King said not the name Hogberry. Not the name Hogberry. I've never heard of Hogberry in my life.
YouTubers. I'm seeking protection.
All right.
YouTubers.
Protect our YouTubers.
Something on name Hogberry.
Where?
Fruits. Little berries.
You know which parish?
St. Elizabeth. Hello? YouTubers.
Michelle said
I
what?
beg protection.
Michelle said there's Hogberry?
Of course. They're little green.
Hogberry?
Yeah. Hogberry.
All right, listen.
I get back my country
No.
passport this morning.
Hold on, no.
Hogberry.
You can't admit something into the thing that the room has not heard of. So hold on, no. You, Michelle, and Jermaine in the room.
No, John.
Me and Jermaine never hear about Hogberry yet.
Hogberry.
Michelle invents something because she want to win talk about Hogberry.
Can somebody from St. Elizabeth? Can somebody from St. Elizabeth?
It near Hog Plum. Hogberry. No, because everybody know Coolie Plum and Hog Plum come out.
Hogberry. Can somebody from Sainty please call Nationwide this morning? 630-9371-4 and tell them there's something Hogberry.
Hear me, man. Hog Plum, not Hogberry. 50 I get for that.
No.
You could have get zero, you know? You could have get zero.
My thing is hot.
Oh my God.
And you get zero for that.
No, sir. Horlicks. A Horlicks problem. Exactly.
Hogberry.
We're not talking about private knowledge. We're talking about general knowledge.
Hogberry. But it is general knowledge. Ivan Witter says yes. Hogberry, St. Elizabeth, love it, bad. Hogberry.
Anyway, the YouTube chat full up of people that say yes to Hogberry. So look at the points. Take your point. Take it.
There it is on screen. Hogberry.
What's on the screen?
Locust. No.
What is this?
Anyway,
work with it, no? Work with it. We're not a bad man. I had Horlicks, so I get my 100 to so.
You had written in something?
Yeah, man, Horlicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 550.
So that's what on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 400. 450 for me?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So it's your time now.
So what I should say? ABC
So I'm
fast or slow?
Go slow. Start.
No. Oh.
It's
Okay.
your time for that.
Go slow?
Slow. Start. Stop.
Yeah. I. Stop. Who says stop?
You should say stop.
No, but King confused because King said stop.
Shut up, Jermaine.
Lord have mercy. Bad man, you said stop. Remember some. At the first me play the game, I don't know the game play.
You're supposed to tell the room to stop.
Oh.
So yeah.
But me only write 2 something and King says stop.
No. The wickedness.
Never try to fight me. Alright. Scrap that. You go now, Tana. Your turn. So
Ian.
Yeah.
I
have Iraq. Yeah. Jermaine, the first mechanic you know from Grand Spen named Iraq.
Okay.
Ghana Cayman Islands gonna work now.
Okay.
The girl for me is Irene.
Inez.
Okay. I'm gonna never reach the first. I just write 2 things and then King says stop.
So iguana.
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah.
Ice cream. Eagle.
Okay. Tana never write so much something, King. Hello. Tana could never have written so many something.
Mega's fighting here now.
You don't get the fight.
I'm seeking protection.
You are Michelle that tried to
I'm Michelle. What?
No, so you couldn't write so much.
Jermaine, zoom up on my paper.
No.
I completed
Scrub
all the
tape,
categories.
King. Rewind the tape. We're gonna check the tape because you never write them something there.
Sit there.
Anyway. Somebody said Iraq is a nickname. It doesn't matter, it's a name. If we can accept Hackberry, we can accept Iraq. Yeah? No, sir.
And I'm not doing shorthand, SH.
Go and kick rocks, man.
Let's go.
Alright, come again now.
Fast or slow?
Fast.
Okay.
Start. Stop.
E. All pencils down.
All right. Woo.
Elliot.
I want to write this.
You can't.
Eddie.
Kevin McCall, you're right.
Eddie.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Elena.
Ellen.
Eagle.
Elephant.
England.
We have England too.
Okay, 50. Eggplant.
Edos.
Okay. Earrings. That's my thing.
What is?
Let me see your paper.
Look for that.
Thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. You don't right. So
you get 0.
You can't.
No, but nobody can make out what you write, George.
No, I can make it out.
You couldn't make out what you've written there.
No, I just asked a rhetorical question. Say, what me write?
Oh,
You demand this in my paper.
Oh, please.
So this thing work?
Yeah, you 0, man. You have no idea what you wrote there, sir.
Right, 0. So I'm going to tally now. So 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 450. So 450 because me and you had England together?
Right,
okay.
right.
450, all right.
So
you have what, 550?
Right.
Okay.
So it's your time now.
All right.
So go fast. Stop.
Actually,
start over.
Yeah, me finish the alphabet and start over. Now.
Yeah, man, you can do that.
So I was at D.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop. You done?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was thinking of changing something.
Yeah. That's how much time you have? Boy?
Daniel.
Dennis.
Dara.
Denise.
Donkey.
Deer.
Denmark.
Derry.
Dates is a fruit, right?
Yeah.
Dates.
Oh, what is me again? The fruit. Food. Oh, no, dumpling.
Dish.
Diphtheria.
Is this your first full score?
600 to go.
Big up yourself.
This is the first 600 of the run, or so?
Yes.
Then not
so says those semina.
If them not try to keep them with them weird.
Oh please.
No,
please. The records will show. Nobody is trying to keep you.
No man, yeah, Michelle, man.
Michelle.
Can't throw me out for this Hackberry thing because all you do is I got protest. Alright, run it again now.
So it's my turn.
Yeah. Slow. Start. Stop.
C. All pencils down.
Ooh.
All pencils down.
Ooh. All right. My short one. Yeah, me not a thing. Hey, me couple of turn over the paper here.
Carl. Yeah.
Corey.
Candy.
Caitlin.
I was thinking of something else about cats.
Animal?
Yeah. A cat mouth.
Okay. Cheetah.
Okay. Canada.
Chudley. Or Chudley.
Yes. Cane. Fruit. That's what you have to.
Yeah, 50 that. And I didn't have a thing, so it's 100,
can.
2, 3, 4. 450 again.
50. All right. Your turn.
All right.
So.
Slow.
No, it's your turn.
Yeah, slow.
Wait, I did C?
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're going now.
Me.
Right.
Okay.
So, slow. Stop.
K. Stop.
Whoa!
Ah! Stop!
I don't have anything.
Oh, you don't have anything? Thing.
King.
For boy?
Yes.
Kambuji.
Kimmy.
Girl.
Kimmy.
May have Kimisha. Two different names that. Yeah.
No.
Animal?
Kangaroo.
May have kangaroo to 1250. Place?
Kenya.
Kingston.
Kiwi.
May have kiwi too.
I don't have anything.
And from thing?
Yeah.
May I try ride Kalanga water?
No, sir.
That give.
Yeah.
So 100 for that.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's
So
right.
how many 50s were? I think you have 3 50s or 2 50s. 2.
So I have 400. I have 250s. So yeah.
Right.
400.
So 100, 200, 250, 350, 400, and 100 make 500.
Somebody said kite, kingfish, kangaroo. Yeah. So it's my time now.
Yeah. Last one, because I
right
eat for the
on
food.
the time. So fast or slow?
Fast. Start. Stop.
G.
Stop.
I'm my turn to say stop.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
What is stop? Gavin.
George.
Gail.
Georgia.
Goat.
Goose.
Grenada.
Guyana.
Grapes.
Grapes too.
50. Grape.
Goat. A goat is a thing.
Yeah. Grape.
Yeah, so.
All time sweet.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 550. Me never know say that you're right, Michelle. Come out of my ears, though. Sure.
550.
I think you win by about 150.
Mo win by way more
so
than
1,
that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did 6, right?
Yeah.
6. So what's your total?
No. I forgot to add it up. We're gonna do that on the break, and when we come back from the break. Wait, it's 7.
20. No, it's 6.
It was 7. You have H.
No, man, a 6 me have. Unless there was one on the middle right, nothing at all. No, come on, no, a 6 man.
We had H.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I 7 for you.
It's 7.
No, it's 8.
No, it's 7.
You sure? 7. All right, 7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have 3,900.
You want to do my total too?
Yeah. You win though.
Mathematician.
You win though. What did tally them there? Oh.
You're on the side.
Oh, okay, cool. So hold on, the king.
Yeah.
So that would be 0, 0, 0. So you have 550. Hold on. You have 1,
Kata
2,
says
3, 4. 550 times 4. Then you have 1, 2, 600. 600 times 2. And then you have 400. Okay. 550 times 4, 400, 4 5s 20, 0 carry 2, 4 5s 20 and 2 22. 600 times 2, 1200 and 2200 plus 400 equals 0, 0, 4 and 4, 8, 2 and 1, 3, 3,800. My total wrong. You have 3,800, I have 3,650. So you win.
Okay.
You win. Congratulations and jubilations. Well, then teeth me and still not beat by much.
Please.
Anyway, and I had the first 600 rounds, so easy on yourself. 1, 2, no.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:47. So my friend Newton Harris sent me a message and said, cane is a grass, not a fruit. LOL. And him say, take teaching from a campionite. Brother, this narrow boat will happen this week, so you could talk all you want. When Jonathan grabbed me to your school, care about, okay? So hold on about that, Newton. I want to do something for my friend Tajna Williams. Massey Distribution is having a yard sale January 23 and 24 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Massey Distribution compound at 3 Crifter Avenue. All your good brands, Act 2, Pascal, Wesson, Swiss Miss, Juicy Juice, Lipton, all of those things will be available. Shop and save with these great brands plus many more on January 23 and 24, that's today and tomorrow, today and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Massey Distribution Compound 3, Carifta Avenue. Big yard sale, all right? Cool.
Believe it's true that someone like you loves me too. Something, yes, you are. Yes, and you're every bell dream.
You see this champion money I provoke me?
Yeah.
Alright then, Newton. Since you're so bad, come here do a quiz. Me and you.
Oh boy.
Come on. Say yes. Come on.
So, you know what's the answer.
So champion alumnus, Jonathan Grant alumnus. Me and you. In fact, you can bring reinforcements if you want.
Murder.
So bring Minister Johnson Smith, bring Orlando Terry Long, bring Julian Robinson, walk with the whole army and come.
Morning to you, Newton. It's that time of the Friday morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Happy birthday greetings going out to our friends on Facebook, Christopher Campbell, Kirk Gordon, Kifra Codner, Ashley Boo, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Royal Samantha, Kimone, Kamisha Stone Francis, happy birthday. Alicia Affleck, Asia Grant or Asia Grant, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Abby Johnson. Abby, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Parisian Matt Brown, Sharika Curlew, Maine Green, and Kimberly Ann Hutchinson. Happy birthday. Wishing for you guys a lovely day. And let's see. It's Albert Morgan's birthday. Oh, no, it's not. just saying happy Friday to him. But happy Friday to you, Albert Morgan.
Respect Albert every time.
Indeed, indeed. Shane Davis sending happy birthday to his sister, Donna Knight, is it? Happy birthday to you, Donna. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday greetings to you from your brother, Shane Davis. Any other birthdays? Who else is celebrating a birthday today? Do let us know.
Oh, baby, the way you walk, I can't resist your stun. When I sleep at night, I dream of you. Oh, baby, I wake up with thinking of you, baby.
Also celebrating a birthday today. This one says, wish my sister Dr. Novlet Panton of the BOJ happy birthday on her special dates tomorrow, January 24th. So happy birthday when it comes, Dr. Panton. And this one says, please let her know that she is the greatest sister and friend one could have. She's loved by all the family, and we pray for the Lord's continued blessings on her in overflow. The gifts are on the way, Dr. Panton. Love you bad. So happy birthday when it comes to you. And Katie Buello is saying, George and Tana, my birthday is Saturday. Your birthday is tomorrow.
What you say?
Happy birthday when it comes
Man.
tomorrow.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Katie Buello. And Katie says, Katie needs a big tune. Jermaine.
King, you have to do something for Katie, now. Yeah, man. Whole week she tell we say, yo, our birthday I dropped this week. So
yeah,
I have to do something special for her.
For sure. And this one is for you.
Sent from heaven, sent from heaven. Now you can wait your whole life wondering when it's gonna come or where it's been. You may have got your heart broken a few times in the past. Never last strong as it used to. It don't feel as good as it used to before. And all the things you used to say, things you used to do, went right out the door. Ooh, no more will you be the one. That's what you tell everyone around you. But you know they've heard it all before. What more can you say? When love won't let you walk away, just you can't help who you love, and you find yourself giving it all away when you think you're enough. Ooh, 'cause I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart is sent from heaven. There's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from heaven. I wanna be the one who you believe in your heart is sent from heaven. And there's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from heaven.
Want to say happy birthday to Richard Della Pena. Comes up on Saturday, Richie. Top youth from long time. Big up yourself when it comes on Saturday. So that's KTB Weller's song, Sent from Heaven. Turn it up like a book, woman. Punch it.
Notice when you change and you don't feel as good as you used to before. And everything you used to say, everything you used to do, went right out the door. Ooh, no more will you be the one. That's what you tell everyone around you. But you know they've heard it all before. What more can you say? When love won't let you walk away and it can't help who it loves, and you find yourself giving it all away when you think you're in love. 'Cause I wanna be the one who believes in your heart is sent from heaven. There's a piece of me who leaves when you're gone because you're sent from heaven.
Some more birthdays here. I see Delia Shirley sending happy birthday. This one says, to my wonderful husband Patrick and my amazing, most wonderful daughter Kyla. They're celebrating their birthdays on Sunday the 25th. So love them with everything in me. So happy birthday when it comes, Dahlia Shirley's wonderful husband Patrick and amazing daughter Kyla celebrating on Sunday.
Celebrated fully. Patrick and Kyla. Dahlia is a top lady. Yeah, one of our finest. Yeah, happy birthday to you when it comes up on Sunday.
C. Hilton sending birthday blessings to the kind and friendly, Deborah Williams. So happy birthday when it comes, Deborah. Deborah is celebrating today. So happy birthday to you today, Deborah Williams from C. Hilton in the chat. Melody Cook sending happy birthday to goddaughter Krishan Lawrence in Portmore. Krishan Lawrence, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you from your godmom, Melody Cook. And Donna Llewellyn sending a belated 70th birthday to Bishop Dr. Richard Robinson. A belated happy birthday to you, Dr. Robinson. And the message for you, Donna says it was yesterday, wishing you more life with very good health. All the best from the congregants.
Michael Wright says, can you say happy birthday to my first granddaughter, Paige in Maypen, Clarendon. So Paige, your grandpa, Michael Wright says, happy birthday to you.
Edgar Thomas sending happy birthday to wife Gloria Thomas. I love you so much, Edgar says. So happy birthday to you, Gloria, from your husband, Edgar. And Sassy Sue says, good morning. Today's my birthday. Good morning to you, Sassy Sue. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for your good one.
Jacqueline Brown says, happy birthday to my daughter, Carlina Cavalier. So Carlina Cavalier, happy birthday to you from your mom, Jackie Brown.
Killian Henry sending happy birthday to DSP Charmaine Green over there in St. Mary. DSP, good morning. Thank you so much for your service and happy birthday to you. Wishing for your good one from Killian Henry.
Marlene Hutchinson says, belated happy birthday greetings to my little brother, Kevin Last Egg Hutchinson, who celebrated his birthday on Thursday. Hope he had an amazing day. Kevin Last Egg Hutchinson, your sister Marlene, belated happy birthday greetings. She's sending to you, sir.
And Fabian Smith is sending happy birthday to Audette, cousin, whose birthday will be on Sunday. So happy birthday when it comes to you, Audette, from your cousin Fabian Smith. And Lorna Pinnock sending happy birthday to, she says, my one boy, Joshua Pinnock, wishing him many more happy birthdays, and mommy will always love him. So happy birthday to you, Joshua, from your mommy, Lorna Pinnock.
Chrissy Toyloy, happy birthday to my Auntie Velma. She's 70 years old today. Lots of love to her. Auntie Velma, on your 70th. Chrissy Toyloy says, happy birthday. She loves you lots.
Cheryl Wallace sending belated birthday greetings to Theresa Morgan in Lacovia. Theresa, down there in St. Elizabeth, happy birthday to you from Cheryl Wallace.
Veron Jacks Pinnock, belated happy birthday greetings to Miss Jackie Taylor, head of exams at the Michael University College. She celebrated on Thursday. She says, stay sweet, Miss Jackie. Jackie Taylor, head of exams at Michael University College, still celebrating for her birthday, which was on Thursday.
Just in case we missed this one, Carvel Wallace sending happy birthday to Sister Kenesha Wallace. Kenesha, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from your sibling, Carvel Wallace. Those are all the birthdays.
Hold on. Have one last one. Happy birthday to Rachel White, BNS Premier Branch. Rachel, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hope you enjoy it, and hope you have many more great ones, all right? Coming from your friends at the office. All the best to you on this day, Rachel White.
If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary as well. My friend Rick Jam NYC in the chat says, George, hogberry fruit, also known as Nance, is a small yellow-orange tropical berry from the Americas with a pungent aroma and a unique sweet sour taste.
Big up Rick every time. If Rick says so.
That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks so much to our technical operator and the musical maestro, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, and our super editor in the newsroom, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online with Tyrone. I'm Tana.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
All the thoughts I'm thinking of.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Come to Kalima's Complete Skin and Nail Bar, located at 49 Upper Waterloo Road. Book your next appointment with a licensed esthetician offering beauty therapy, nail services, body waxing, fusion eyelash extensions, and microblading. Call us today, 876-421-5557. That's 876